Hi everyone, this is Matt, and I'm here to talk to you about the meaning of each tab and button on Edusoft. So I went ahead and logged onto Edusoft already. As you can see, the default is on multiple measures. It's actually not too beneficial for us because we don't use multiple measures anymore. If you go through it, you'll notice that it only has tests up to about 2005, so that's no good for our purposes. So you don't need to worry about multiple measures. Instead, we're going to focus the majority of this video on benchmark exams and the meaning of each of these buttons. Now notice that these buttons all up here are the same as these selections down here. So you can read through what these mean, and once you know it, you can just go straight to the buttons instead of having to scroll down. So I'm going to go through those one by one. First one is assessments. Just like they say here, use that button. Or down here. You align questions on existing benchmark exams as standard, so you don't actually need to worry about that, but instead print answer sheets for tests in the system. Now the vast majority of tests are already included in the system, but more importantly we can go ahead and print the answer sheets for those tests. So if you're looking to print answer sheets for an Edusoft test, this is your button. Next up, we've got our reports locker. So reports locker is a lot of reports that you've already run. If you haven't run any reports, it won't be too helpful. But if you've run a lot of reports and you want a nice helpful way to organize them, you'd go right to reports locker. Reports locker, as you can see, right up here, right down here. Next one is reports. So once you've given the test to your students and then once you've scanned the test in, you want the reports. And on the reports button, you can actually run the reports that you need to be able to analyze that data. So after the assessment, this one will probably be the button that you use the most. You can generate a whole list of reports, and we'll look to a later video for exactly what reports we can generate. But this is your go-to button for all of your reports. Item analysis. That's another button that generates a couple of different reports. There's an item response and an item analysis report. Two separate, very much more specific, a little bit more advanced reports. We will get to running those reports and analyzing those reports in a later video. And again, that's right down here as well. Don't worry about intervention groups. We don't use that too much in PG County. And instructional tools, another tool that we don't use much in PG County, so you don't need to worry about those. As you can see, teacher tools and curriculum are already blocked out, so we don't need those at all. But we are going to go over to the admin button. Admin button is beneficial for our use. Now I have a few more options than you would on your own screen just because of my administrative access. But there are several that are necessary for use. I wouldn't worry about rosters, settings, custom groups, or assessment sets. But grading right here, that is an important button to use, especially right after you scan tests. Every once in a while a student will forget to bubble in their name, or sometimes the answer sheet doesn't scan properly. If you notice that once you run the report there's a couple of students missing and you were sure that they actually did take the test, you'll want to go to these grading tabs. You can go back and look at all of your scanning sessions and go in and see which students were scanned. What was it with the answer sheet? Is it something that you can fix in the platform, or do you have to rescan the answer sheet altogether? But this is where you would go for that. As you can see, find and fix scanning failures. So that's a short overview of all the tabs and buttons on Edusoft. Hope this is helpful.